Hey YouTube, Carlos here, back in the channel. So appreciation for anybody who caught the last video. I think the response was very positive on the whole, and I really appreciated the dialogue that people threw in there. I stand behind everything I threw in that video. I think it summarized my thoughts on the Mike Baseball Collector thing pretty well. Quick epilogue to that, since it did happen today. Mike on the Baseball Collector channel, Mike threw in a video response kind of following up what had been happening the last couple of days, kind of his response on it. It did play out not dissimilar to kind of what I thought probably was the wisest way to do it. Again, it was just my opinion on how I would have approached it in his position. If because you were going to follow, I didn't think like a full-fledged apology would have made any sense, because if you genuinely believe that the video was fine, but the results were bad, then you weren't really going to apologize. And I feel like that's basically what happened, and that's okay, because I think on the whole, what I got out of it was this, and I agreed with one statement that he threw in there in the video itself, and that was this: if you, regardless of how you felt, good or bad, the video wasn't going to change your mind one way or the other. If you were upset about it, I don't think the video was going to make you less upset, because you were upset for a variety of reasons. And in my last video, there were some folks who threw in their 2 cents both ways. And I think, like I said, the dialogue was good, and I think on the whole it was very positive. And if you weren't really that upset about it, but you also felt like it should have stayed up there or whatever, I don't think your mind would have been changed by that, because it really wasn't going to follow. The tone wasn't going to go in that direction, and I think that was a good thing. One thing I did get out of it, as far as the video is concerned, is that I think Mike got some good advice and followed it, and took that advice, and I think that was a good move. The upshot is that he's going to be taking a break from YouTube for an indefinite period, however that long turns out to be. Probably a good move, to be honest, just to kind of step away for a while and then figure out what you want to do going forward. I think there's a lot of folks who will still catch the videos when and if he comes back, and in the meantime, it's going to give the community as a whole other things to complain about, because I'm sure we'll come up with something. That's really all I'll have to say about that. I'm pretty satisfied that things are where they need to be for now, and then we'll see what happens going forward. In the meantime, back to business. Did get a COMC order that I was waiting on in the mail. Actually came yesterday, but I got one of those lovely slips where you have to go to the post office. So I got the box right here. Lovely, well packaged and everything, but don't need the box. I already took everything out of it. I could have left that dramatically for a little while, but anyway, everything got taken out of the box. It was well packaged. I will say a lot of team bags. And I got everything kind of sorted out here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my perspective a little bit. I'm not using my regular camera right now, because after the epic last video that I spent a lot of time recording, I made the mistake of not recharging the battery. And I really want to get this COMC stuff, because it's a lot for the player collections. I want to get this stuff into the binders and into the boxes and everything. And rather than wait for the thing to charge, I'm going to use the phone this time around. Hopefully the quality doesn't suffer too much, and it is going to be a longer video, so be forewarned. I'm going to cover a couple of different PCs and then do a really quick summary at the end of the more notable things. But I'm going to try to zip through as much of this as possible. So let's flip it, and then we'll get right to the cards. All right, scratch that. I actually tried recording with the cell phone to take the cards for about 20 minutes. The autofocus was complete crap, so we waited a little bit longer and we used the regular camera anyway. So there you go. There's editing magic for you. Okay, so first we're going to do the Modano cards, and then we'll get into the baseball here at the very end, along with a little miscellaneous in between. So let's get to it. There's a lot to go through. First of all, we got 97-98. This is Donruss Priority. So this is the Mike Modano. This is a postcard. They really went heavy into the mail and postage theme with this set. I've done a lot of different pickups over different times. So this is one of the key ones to that mid to late 90s hockey collection, a little subset that I'm working on. So this is 97-98, Donruss Priority postcard. Because, of course, we need more oversized cards, so why not? Next order of business. This isn't an oversized card, but it might as well be, because it's in a gigantic holder. So we've got, this is 2006-2007. This is the cup. It is in a Beckett holder. It is numbered to 249. It's actually just a base card. You can see the grading and the subgrades there. This case is absurdly thick. Like, look at this thing. This thing's ridiculous. It's got the little COMC thing. I'll take this out of the wrapper here, just to show it to you. It is still kind of a base card, but it is nonetheless what they had for the cup. Nothing too crazy, but like, look at that. Why on earth would you need to put it in a holder like this? I'm not going to dwell on this any further, but this is patently absurd. I don't even understand. But anyway, the price on this was fine, so I definitely needed to pick it up. So one more for the collection. let's go through a couple of these here. So this is a triple jersey card. So this is Prime Trios with Eric Lindros, Mike Modano, and Dennis Mark of the Minnesota North Stars. I could not figure out, now it is numbered to 100 there, you can see in the corner. I couldn't figure out what the common denominator was, but as it turns out, this was kind of interesting. I like this. They actually mentioned at the bottom, so hopefully I can get that in focus. Panini America didn't show up to 2013 Toronto Fall Expo alone. So this Toronto Fall Expo is the card show that I attend every 6 months. So of course it brought along its closest friends, Lindros, Modano, and Mark, did a VIP party. So I didn't realize that there was actually a connection. So they had a specific VIP party for Panini America back then. This was about 6 or 7 years back. And I do remember that Modano was at that show, so that makes sense. And then apparently they had these three, and they produced a card for the three of them. So that's actually kind of sweet. A little bit of a different thing, not kind of your standard fare, but that is kind of cool. So there you go, for the VIP party. All right, so for the rest of these, I'm just going to slide the pile here into it because there were a lot of Modanos that go through, and I'll kind of summarize at the end where we are in the collection as far as that goes. So this is, again, 97, 98. This is a Collector's Choice, which is very much a base brand, but this is the Players Club Parallel. Then we got Donruss Dominators. This is Modano, Jeremy Roenick, and Sergei Fedorov. This would have been a really good card back in the mid-90s. And this was numbered to 5,000, which, again, back then was a much bigger deal than it would be today. But a pretty neat card. You got to like the foil happening there. So it's pretty sweet. Next, we got the 97, 98. This is Pacific Collection. So this is the Copper Parallel. So they had a ton of parallels for these. I think about 8 or 9 of them. Different colors, and I'm going to show you in a minute an example of a lot of those colors in action because I did pick up a lot of singles from one of the other sets. Moving on, this is from 97, 98 Collector's Choice as well. This is a You Crashed the Game. I believe this is the one you got if you actually had a winner and if you redeemed it. So this is the card you would receive. This is a winner card. Pretty cool. So this is 97, 98. All right, for this next card, this is the Game View. From Stadium Club. Now, it's a little bit hard to see, so I was trying to figure out, with a little editing magic, I came back to this, so I'm trying to figure out how to help you with it a little bit, but I'm going to try. So if you can see there a little bit, hopefully that's a little bit easier to make out. You can see there's a little bit of game film on it. So that is what the Game View is. That's about the best I can do. I was trying to find a good way of showing it to you without using some backlight. But anyway, you can get the idea. Kind of a cool card. This next one is a nice one, a favorite from that time period. So this is 96, 97. This is Black Diamond. So Modano was in the double diamond, and this is the gold version. So that completes this little mini set. Nice looking card. The foil looks excellent on that. This one's called EO Portraits, and this is part of a collection from that era. Now again, this is really hard to see, but if you look, you can see there's a little dots outlined there. I'm going to see if I can use this piece of paper again. Maybe it'll help a little bit. Nope, definitely not. I'll have to figure out something to show you a little bit better with something. Let me see. Nope. Anyway, the point is if you could see it a little bit better, what you would see is that you could actually make out... Oh, there you go. That actually works a lot better. So you can see it's actually like basically a picture of the player cut out into the little dots. So you can definitely see it a lot better in the back. EO Portraits. Pacific was definitely doing a lot of interesting things back then. Moving on, this is 96, 97 Flair. So this is the Blue Ice collection. This is a parallel. This was numbered to 250. Kind of a neat way of having the numbering. Obviously, you've got the of 250 already there, and then you stamp the number. It's kind of cool. Nice looking card as well. Okay, now this is what I was talking about earlier regarding the parallels. So I'm going to show this to you. So this is 97, 98. This is Pacific Dynagon. This is the regular base card. So the base card is a gold color. And then you've got the copper again. Some of these are a little tricky to make out with the foil, but then you've got the emerald, okay? And then you got the ice blue. And then you got the red, which I believe is a retail exclusive. Something that it's been a long time. It's been over 20 years, so it's a little tough to remember. These two actually should be two different. I think this is a mistake that COMC made, and I'll have to look into it. This is where having the little invoice would have been helpful here. One of them should be silver, and one of them should be dark gray. But as far as I can tell, I think both of these are the silver. Not sure. I'm going to have to look into that a little further because the dark gray, I will say, is very hard to make out compared to the silver. But I believe these are two of exactly the same. This is where I'll show a card later on where I really wish Pacific and those manufacturers with these parallels would have made our lives just a little bit easier. Would have helped, been really nice. So this is 98, 99. This is Mystery Finest. This is the silver of Modano. And then to go along with it to complement, you've got the refractor as well. That refractor really does kind of help it pop. It is a really nice looking card, and you do see some nice etching there as well, which is very cool. So there's a nice little pair to complete that. Very nice. This is called Leather and Laces. So this is a nice little set. It's got it actually has a little bit of texture on it, on the card itself, to represent the skate. And these were numbered as well to 5,000 again. The magic number in the mid to late 90s. Numbered to 5,000 was a big deal back in those days. Cool looking card though. From Leaf. This is 97-98 Donruss Studio, because I was very much on a 97-98 kick with a lot of this COMC order. So this is one of the cards that I needed. So this is numbered 1 of 1,000. Not specifically numbered, but they were limited to 1,000. I already have the gold and the base card. So again, this is another one of these parallels. So this is Pacific Omega. This is the Ice Blue, which I believe was 1 in 73 packs, if memory serves me back then. So you had to buy a couple of boxes to get one of these, so they were actually pretty tough. And the other thing you can see here is that the player was etched out in the foil there as well. If you can make that out a little bit, it's kind of cool. Believe this is 95-96, so this is Dreamlines. So this one, yeah, John LeClair, Brendan Shanahan, and Mike Modano. And John LeClair wearing that sweet, sweet Hartford Whalers jersey. There's a throwback if any of you remember that team. And I think the common denominator here is that all three of these guys were 50 goal scorers. So pretty sweet. Nice addition. This is the Leaf Limited Gold. Nice looking card. I am trying to zip through a lot of these real quick because there is a lot. This is only like the first segment of it right now. So I don't want to take this video to take too long. This is 97-98 Leaf Limited Star Factor. One of the big key cards that I got in my collection years ago was the limited exposure version of this. So this was the toughest of the base singles, the high number, so to speak, with the single player, and then the limited exposure was kind of the refractor-ish parallel here. I had the limited refractor of this before I had the base card of it, which was kind of interesting. All right, so here's a couple of parallels from Score. So 97-98 Score, this is the foil version, and then this is the artist proof. You can guess which one is the more interesting of the two. That is a really sweet looking card, that artist proof. They did a really good job with this. This is part of the reason, though, you can tell. Like, Score is a very low-end product, and you can pull cards like this. And that tells you really, in a nutshell, why I very much loved 97-98 as far as hockey is concerned. I felt like that was a golden era. Even the low-end sets had some interesting stuff like this. So there you go. All right, next. This is, I believe this was 96, 97, I want to say, but this is a Upper Deck MVP. Oh, sorry, Collector's Choice, but it was the MVP subset, and this is the gold version. So you got the base and the gold, yeah, 96, 97. So this is the Collector's Choice MVP gold version. So these are a pair as well. So you got this. I think this is 95 or 94, 95 part of SP. And you've got the Upper Deck Star, so these are inserts, and then you got the regular version and the gold version. Backs are pretty similar, although you do have a little more gold on this one. So you do see some slight differences. It is nice when they take a little bit of time to make a little bit of a modification on the back so that there's some kind of a distinction. So here's another mid-90s insert. This is 90+ Club. So this is basically when Modano scored his 50 goals, had 43 assists, so for a total of 93 points. That was actually his career high as well. So it is kind of interesting. He did get into this insert set, and that is the only time he had 90 points in a season. And also the old school Stars uniform. I think, though, this is when they were still Minnesota. This was basically the last uniform before they went over to Dallas and had a very similar version of this black uniform. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. You got the patch right there. So actually, this was right at the beginning when they first got to Dallas. Although in Minnesota, they had a very similar jersey to this, minus the patch, certainly. My apologies. You got to look at the picture a little closer. All right. So you got 96-97 Topps Finest. That is the gold refractor. Very nice. Still got the peel on it. I got to debate if I want to keep the peel on or not because these peels really don't add a lot to it. But it is nice to have it in this condition. Very cool card. So I already have the base card, and now I've got the refractor to go along with it. Okay, this is the line to line, and this is the die cut version. So I already had the base version, and this is the die cut, and the die cut is numbered to 250. And obviously you can see you got the skater there. It's kind of cool, and foil design. 97.98. You're noticing a theme hopefully by now. So it's 97.98. This is the copper for Pacific Paramount. Very cool card, and I think this was the last one I needed to have all the different parallels. So this is going to fit in a nice sheet of the binder. Very cool. This is 96.97, I believe. Yes, 96.97. This is Pinnacle. So this is the foil version, which you can see hopefully there. And then you've got the Rink collection, where you got the nice, Duflex etching. That's really cool with that design. I believe that is Rink collection. Yes. So there you go. You got the foil, and you got the Ring collection. Okay, so this is the last of the parallels that I needed for this one. This is the Coaches collection. This is 97.98, if you can imagine. 97.98 Pinnacle inside. And this was the set that you had in those cans. Kind of cool. Another nice looking card. Okay, this is Pacific Invincible. This is, I believe it is Feature Performers. Pacific had a lot of these kind of interesting looking inserts into their various products with very strange odds of pulling them. So I don't remember what the odds were on this one, but this is kind of a cool card. Okay, a couple of Topps Finest, I think it's like Mystery Double or just like double, because you'd had the same front and then you'd have two different backs, because you got Steve Yzerman, so there's card M31, and Brendan Shanahan card M33. So I apologize. On some of these I have to kind of hesitate because it's been a long time. But you can see, with Modano, you actually have three different versions of the card with three different people on the back, and then refractor versions of both, or all three, I should say. Very interesting. Sometimes you have to do your research just to go back. Okay, this is 98.99. This is UD Choice, which is one of my favorite sets from this time period, and this is the Choice Reserve. And then you have a parallel to this also, which was the Prime Choice Reserve, which literally would say that here as well. It's a little hard to see, but hopefully you can see there's a little rainbow thing going on with the text in the background. And the Prime Choice Reserves were all out of 100, and they are super tough. These ones were the more accessible parallel. Okay, these next two are kind of interesting. They do kind of go together, so I'll explain. So this is from Pacific Collection. This is what was called the Cardsupial. And this is one of when Pacific, I don't know what Pacific was on when they came up with a lot of these concepts, but anyway. So you could pull a card like this, and this card had a little pocket in the back. So I don't know if you can see, there's a little cutout here. And you can see here, collect the little Mike Modano card to find the answer to the question below and place it in the pouch. So they had a thing here. So you would be able to also get this card. And then this card would let you have it, and you could actually get a question, and you'd have the answer right here, which is kind of interesting. So it'd be Cardsupial. So you'd basically just put that right there like that, and they would go right in the little pocket. Very interesting, we'll say. Kind of a unique concept, but there you go. These were the Cardsupials, both the small and the large. So there you go. Next one, die cut of a skate from Crown Royale. So this was the Blades of Steel, which is also a video game, I believe a Nintendo one. Decent hockey game. Pacific took their stuff literally. So this one is another insert from Omega, so from Modano, and I don't remember what this one's called. It was kind of an obvious name. Stick handle laser cuts. So there you go. So you can see a little bit of see-through here. It is very much kind of an interesting design, and you'd have a little bit of a cutout where you could see through the other side. Like I said, Pacific wasn't lacking for ideas in the late 90s. So this is 98.99. This is a Topps Gold label. So this is the, I believe, Class 1, and this is the black label. So you have this at the top. That's the black label. You'd have the regular, you'd have the black label and the red label, and the red label tended to be the numbered ones. And you'd have Class 1, Class 2, and Class 3. 98.99 was probably my favorite of these sets because it was the first one. So they really, I think, did the concept the best. Cool looking card. All right, I'm going to try to zip through a couple of these here. So 97.98 National Treasures. This is the die cut version. You got your Bowman foil. This is 98.99 Topps Finest, and this is the No Protector. So this one's a little hard to make out, but if you can see, the difference would be that you'd have basically kind of a foil background instead of a more matte background, and that foil background meant that this was the No Protector. The regular card would have the little protector on the front, and then you could also have a no protector refractor to go along with the regular one with a regular refractor, because cards aren't complicated enough. So there you go. Speaking of complicated, this is SPX Finite, and this had a lot of subsets and subsets, and every single subset in this series was numbered. So this was the Marquee Performers, and this was the base card of this, card number 169, and this was the most common at 2,625 cards. Don't ask me how they came up with that exact number. I believe the parallel to this one was up to 875 or thereabouts, and then there was another parallel after that. It got really convoluted after a while, but if you could figure it out, Upper Deck had some kind of a formula system for this set. But there you go, Marquee Performers. And this is just the base card that I needed because I was missing it. So this is 98.99, Be a Player. And this is a playing card. So this is NHL Hockey Aces from 96-97. One of the more unusual ones, but definitely a nice pickup. This was right around 2000 Prism, and this is the holographic gold, which is very cool looking. And that is numbered to 480. And they used a little bit of an unusual numbering system, you can see there. So 45 of 480. But there you go. Okay, so these are some of the more recent ones. So this is Artifacts, and this is from 2011-2012. So you got the base card, and you got the Emerald Green out of 99. And then this is 1415 Black Diamond. Kind of interesting card with the foil. This is Scoring Kings from Fleer Ultra. And then to close off the Modano section of this, you have Artifacts. So this is from, let's see, I don't remember. I think 2004-2005 Artifacts. And this is the blue version, numbered to 75. So there you go. All right, if you can believe it, I'm going to stop the recording here, and then I'm going to continue. Same video, probably. It's like I said, it's going to be a long one. We're going to continue with some of the miscellaneous, and then we'll get into the baseball. All right, through editing, this is part 2. We continue on. One more hockey card before we get into pure baseball to finish this thing off. So we got a Jamie Benn, and this is, I believe, 2017-2018. Now that is, number one, a very cool looking card from OPC Platinum. But number two, this was kind of what I referenced maybe about 20 minutes ago. When you've got these many parallels to a set like this, you know what is really appreciated? This is called Violet Pixels. This is going to come up when I get to the baseball section. When you've got so many parallels, I would love if more companies would consider putting the name of the parallel on the back of the card, because it just makes it so much easier to figure out which one you're actually trying to figure out that you have, especially when you're trying to put together a checklist, because otherwise I'd have no earthly idea which parallel this is unless I happen to be really paying close attention to the product. Nonetheless, Violet Pixels, Jamie Benn, very cool looking card. All right, for the rest of this mail day, it's going to be all baseball now, and a couple of random items before I get into the main player collections. For some reason, I didn't have one of these already, so I decided to pick it up. I picked up a certified autograph of Jose Canseco from Stadium Club. Cool looking picture, actually, and it is a hard signed card. Not very expensive at all, but nonetheless a very cool card. Canseco is an interesting player in kind of baseball history, and I grew up in the era where this Oakland A's team was interesting, and it seems appropriate to have a card like this in the collection just the same. Next one was one I did pick up. I had it sitting on the COMC order for a while, so I picked up Topps Chrome Pete Alonso. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with it, but he had himself a pretty good rookie season. It's nice to have a card like that sitting around in the collection for now. And then this last one is one that I'm probably going to try to get a hold of a couple of cards from this guy here, because I think the timing is right on this player. So you got a 2001 Upper Deck of Ichiro. So this is the star rookie. I really think now is a good time because he's a little bit out of sight, out of mind, because he technically was playing last season, and you kind of forget about it because at the same time he's really tapered down in terms of his games the last couple of years. But then that does mean that it's going to be a couple of years before again he comes back to the front of mind once he's back in Hall of Fame territory. But having almost 3,100 hits after starting his career in Japan, the Hall of Fame isn't a concern. It's just a matter of will people remember until it becomes obvious that he's going to be inducted shortly. It's going to be one of those things where you might sneak up on people. Now is probably not a terrible time to pick up these because they're still really inexpensive. All right, since the first part of the video took so long, I don't want to lose my voice, so I'm going to zip through a list a little bit. But this is kind of a cool one to start off with. So this here is Topps Stadium Club, and I'm going to show it to you in a second. So this is 97 Topps Stadium Club. This is Millennium. Now this is just a cool looking card. And this is actually the card that made me switch to the proper camera because I needed to be able to show it to you properly. It's an embossed card with a really cool looking design. Like it's really sweet looking. Now, along with this one, I've also got this one. Now, they look very similar, but the embossing is slightly different, at least in my opinion. Like, I had to really kind of look at the two. I actually thought this was another mistake by COMC. I was trying to figure out if I had maybe accidentally ordered the wrong thing. But these aren't the same card. One of them is the regular card, and the other one, it's kind of hard to make out, so I'm going to try to zoom in on it for you. So look at the back of this card, and then you have to kind of look at it a little bit tighter. I don't know if you can see that text, but this one is the members only edition. So it is a parallel of it. And it is, you know, in either event, both of these are really sweet looking cards. And you can see that the autofocus is going absolutely crazy on this. But that is really cool. And these are really some testament to some of these 90s baseball cards that kind of got lost in the shuffle. And it's just, this is a great looking card. All right. Enough blabbering about this one, but that is a cool looking one to start off with. All right, a little bit of Pacific here for baseball. So you got Prism. So again, early Carlos Delgado, but very cool looking card. A lot of gold foil. And then you got this Prism as well. Again, really neat. If you like a shine, there you go. It's pretty sweet. Delgado in a classic pose, especially early days. Now this is fun for me. There you go. If you want it in Espanol. Pretty sweet. So there you go. Pacific had the bilingual thing going on. All right. Couple of cool cards here coming up. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do these ones for you first. So this is Holo View. So if you like your holograms, that's a pretty good one. You got Delgado down there. Pretty cool. So you got SP, die cut. Got the regular version already, so that goes along with it. This one I thought I already had, but apparently I didn't, so I needed this one. So this is 97 tops, just the regular version. Nothing crazy. And you got the nice Canada Day uniform in the picture. And this one's a nice one. This is not ring collection, but this is museum collection, the baseball equivalent. So here you go. And with a lot of these cards, by the way, you really want to pay attention to details. So this one is the museum collection, but it is also the artist proof, so you can see that down there. Now, one important thing about this one, again, it's a little details. So you can see obviously all the foil etching, it looks pretty sweet, but if you look at the bottom, and you got to catch it just right, you got Toronto-related things and landmarks. So you got their Dave Steve, the Harbor Rock Cafe, Skydome, Hockey Hall of Fame. So you got to kind of like pay attention. So Maple Leaf, Maple Leaf, and I don't know if that's supposed to be Maple Leaf Gardens or just Maple Leaf. But anyway, there you go. So it is kind of a couple of cool little details if you pay a little bit closer attention, but that is the artist proof version. 1994 Rookies and Stars. Kind of a plain looking card, but looks a little bit nice. So that's an early Delgado there. Very cool. All right, Rock Solid Foundation. I believe this is 97. Nice foil card. And if you want some more foil, here you go. So you got Leaf Limited, not dissimilar to the hockey one, but this is the limited exposure one. So it is Carlos Delgado, counterparts with Wally Joyner. There you go. Oh, and if you are ever trying to check these out, the limited exposure thing, hopefully I can get the focus to work. Limited exposure is right there. It'll actually say right on it. Obviously the foil will kind of give it away, but if for some reason that's not enough, you do have it in the corner. That is handy to know. All right, so now we got a couple of 2001 Elite, so we got a couple of different ones. I already had some of these, but this is to fill out this gap a little bit. So this is primary colors. So that is the standard out-of-the-box red one. So that is numbered to 975. And to go along with it, I have the die cut. So that is the primary colors red die cut. Whoops. Numbered to 25. And then we got the primary colors blue. And that one is numbered to 50. Cool looking card. And then we got the primary colors yellow. And that one is numbered to 75. Probably could have done that in reverse order, but nonetheless. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit random. I haven't sorted these all out yet. So this is kind of cool. So this is an early Carlos Delgado autograph. Not the earliest, because there are a few from 97 and thereabouts, but this is the Fresh Ink Fleer Ultra. I think putting the stamp, though, in the middle is kind of a misstep. It kind of interferes with the autograph, although the kind of the little gray, I guess it's a sticker, but It looks kind of plain. And it is hand numbered to 275, which is kind of neat. But there you go. You can tell it's kind of early days for a lot of these certified autographs. Here you go. Authentic autograph. So there you go. You got the little seal at the top as well. Interesting. This one's kind of a neat looking card. Not expensive at all, but neat. So you got Spectrum from Absolute Memorabilia. That is numbered, I believe, yes, to 100. Right there. This is one of those cool looking inexpensive cards. Delgado, like I said previously, is super undervalued. So you can get a lot of really neat stuff very inexpensively. Okay. This is just a neat looking card overall. Kind of hard to show it off, but you got Fleer Futures. Got a lot going on there with the foil. Kind of cool. I really don't know what the deal is with why this design came out this way, but there you go. Another early insert. So you got New Age from Score. Again, it's nice when Score puts a little bit of effort into it. Kind of cool. And I believe this is when he was still a catcher. So there you go. Okay, this one is a little tricky to make out unless you stare at it a little bit. So this is the Fleer 96, but it is the Tiffany. And I believe the key here is the stock, but also that the bottom here has a little bit of rainbow foil on it. It's a little tricky to make out. I don't think they labeled it anywhere else as far as I can tell, but it is the Tiffany version. So there you go. And this is a Certified Future, again, from his early days when he was still a catcher. So Select 95. All right, gold label. So this is a Class 3. Regular gold label. Very cool. All right, a couple of cool cards to finish us off, but before that, let me do one more kind of regular insert. So you got the Super Sluggers. There are a lot of these insert sets in the 2000s. So just another one to add to that. Pretty straightforward. Now you got the Spectra. So this is the pink Spectra. It is unlicensed, so you don't have the logos and such, but you got a really nice looking card with all that going on. Autographed. And this one here is numbered 2 out of 10. So these are pretty limited, but you can get them very inexpensively given that they're unlicensed. And like I said, retired player, out of sight, out of mind. For what I paid for this one, I'm very happy. That is a cool looking card. Okay. Last Delgado card, and we're done with that. Essential Credentials. Very cool. I didn't realize that there were like multiple layers because this kind of is raised and you got this a little bit see-through. You got a lot of technologies and things going on. And then it's numbered out of 32, no less. Pretty good, pretty cool looking card. Obviously you can see like see-through, like I said. You got a lot of technology going on here and a lot of aesthetics, definitely. All right, we've reached the end of this epic video. Last section, we're going to do some Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s, and then we'll do a quick recap at the end because there was a lot here. Okay, so we got Score first. Kind of neat if you like kind of weird looking cards. But that is the Score from, I think, Panini Chronicles. So there you go. Again, from Chronicles, you got Ascension, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. This one's kind of cool. This is from Topps. It's 582 Montgomery, which is a reference to the early days of Topps. But they got these different sets that they came out with it. I actually wasn't able to find this in Beckett because that's how I used to keep track of these cards, but it is interesting. It's got a little bit of old stock and such. Neat looking card, though. I'm all about those 2019s. So then here you got two that are going to look very similar. You got Heirs to the Throne. So you got that one, you got this one. The differentiator being who's on the back. So you got Vladimir Guerrero Sr. and Josh Donaldson. So Heirs to the Throne. Two different ones on that insert. So there you go. And now we get into some fun stuff here. I had a bunch of these already, but now I'm starting to fill this out. I don't know if I'm going to do a rainbow of them, but I'm definitely got a decent little group of them. And this is what I was talking about earlier as far as an infinite number of parallels, and it would be really nice to have these labeled. So first of all, we got this one. So this is from 2019 Optic. I believe this is the Red Wave. At this point, I basically go into Beckett, I look up the color, and then if it's numbered, it makes it a little bit easier, but if it's not numbered, I'm usually making best guess. I'm pretty sure this is the Red Wave. By all means, please correct me if I'm wrong on this. You know, I can't really tell, to be honest, on a lot of these. I think there's like 25 or 26 parallels. It's absurd. So it's really hard for me to tell at this stage. But I like the rated rookie card, and these are pretty neat. And I don't mind having a bunch of them. This one, I believe, is just the pink. So there you go. Because there is another version of the pink. You got Pink Velocity, which is definitely a very different technology, but I believe this is just the regular pink. And nothing special in the back. These are not these first two are not numbered. Now you got this one here. So this is the purple. Now this one, I can't remember exactly what it is, but it is purple something, because you see the pattern there. You got the little squares going on. And what helps with this one is that it is numbered, so it does help me narrow it down pretty quickly. If I can, I'll put on the screen which one it is, but it's definitely purple something. Again, too many parallels for me to track, but there's another 3 to add to that collection. Very cool. And then we got the rookies. So this is the insert, and this is the hollow version. Cool. All right, we got Family Business from Chrome, which I believe already is set in a refractor variation. I don't think they have a regular version of this. I think it's just refractor and atomic refractor. I could be mistaken on that. Nice looking card. And then we got from Bowman Best, we got Power Producers, which again comes in kind of a refractor version already. A lot going on. It's a very busy card. So if you like that, this is one for you. We got from Arizona Fall League. Card from that. We got the Topps Chrome Update. So there's the rookie debut, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. from the dugout. There you go. Chrome Update. All right, this one is if you like your festive themed. So this is from the Walmart exclusive, and this is the first of the variations with the candy cane bat. So I've got the regular one graded. I'll probably get this one sent off as well, probably the next time I do some grading. But there you go. There's another version, and then there's one more version where you've got a Christmas ornament right about here, and that's the rarest of them. But this one's a nice one, just the same. You got a metallic, I think, as well. So this one was actually me not paying close attention, but I don't mind at this point. This is a duplicate of my pink refractor. I don't mind having an extra at this stage. The prices have started to creep up on these guys, so that's cool. And then the last non-numbered one that I didn't have, the X-Fractor. And this is the one that I really wanted to pick up because I had all the other non-numbered. The only thing left now for 2019 Topps Chrome with Vladimir Guerrero for me is all the numbered ones, but the prices have been a little high on that, and I haven't been too keen on pulling the trigger on those. But not just the same, I'm pretty happy to have all the non-numbered ones, including the X-Fractor like this. Very cool. All right, I think that's a pretty good card to finish up on. So we'll go to one more shot here, and we'll do a little summary of what we got. All right, a couple of shiny cards to finish this up. So the main focus from this COMC order was on these player collections, the Modano and Carlos Delgado and Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and I definitely made some inroads in all three. The focus mainly was on the Modano one. That definitely had far and away the most, followed by Delgado, and then a couple of Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s. Some quality there as well. Just an update in case you're interested in statistics. We have, at this point now, I have 1,216 different Mike Modano cards. So that is the one that I've mainly been focusing on, especially that mid to late 90s category. Definitely put a dent in that one. I don't remember what my goal was for the year round. I'll have to kind of review that, but we are only in February, so I'm not too worried about that, but I'm definitely making some good progress. The Delgado collection is up to 275 different, so we're definitely closing in on 300 different cards, and we definitely added some quality pieces with some autographs and definitely some neat looking cards and some limited inserts. And then the Vladimir Guerrero Jr. collection has cleared 100 cards, so I'm at 108 different total, not counting duplicates and things like that, and I'm very pleased with that. I didn't have a specific goal for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in mind for this year. I definitely wanted to fill in some of those 2019s, and I'm hoping to get some more of the optic because I've been getting a lot of those different parallels, and it is kind of fun to put together a grouping like that. I don't know if I'll actually target the rainbow, but at the same time, it's one of those things where I'll accumulate them, and if I get to a point where I'm within striking distance, I'll certainly give it a shot. The other aspect of it, though, as well, is I'll probably do a showcase video at some point because I definitely do have quite a number. I think I'm at a dozen, but I don't remember exactly. I'll have to put it with the rest of the cards and figure that out. Anyway, if you caught the whole thing of this epic video, thanks very much for watching. Appreciate it. Be happy to answer any comments or answer any questions you might have. And otherwise, if you catch it in pieces, that's great too. Just the same, there'll be more videos coming. It'll be a little short, a little low on pickups for a little while, but I'll definitely have some showcase videos and some stuff to talk about on the channel over the next couple of weeks. Thanks as always for watching. Appreciate it, and we'll catch you in the next one.